I am here with Amanda Serrano. We're in an Orlando MVP Prospect Show. How awesome is this? You once made your debut. You once were a prospect. What does it feel like to step in the ring for the first time?
That was a long time ago in 2009, and that night I remember like if it was yesterday. I remember being laughed at the weigh-in. I remember being the opponent, but being the opponent in Albany, in Troy, New York, or Albany, New York. And the girl had multiple amateur fights. She had won tournaments. I only had 9 amateur fights. So I was being laughed at the weigh-in. And I was like, you know what, we'll take it in the ring. And it was a war. It was the main event. By the end of the night, all her fans were cheering for me, and I won. I won, so it was an amazing night, and I'm just excited to see these prospects go in there and give it all they got, and this is just the beginning of their career.
Yeah, so from being laughed at a weigh-in to selling out Madison Square Garden in, what, 12 years?
Yes.
What a journey it's been, huh?
It's been a very long journey. I mean, I've been in the sports and when they weren't respecting women, where we had to fight, where we had to sell tickets to pay ourselves, or we had to take fights for free. And I just fought for the love of the sport. I fought and fought. And look at me now. I'm super glad that there was times where I wanted to hang it up, but I'm super happy that I did it.
What's next for you? Obviously, you had this unbelievable fight with Erica Cruz, broke all sorts of CompuBox records, made my life a living hell that night. But we love when we see punches like that and records like that. You defended or you became undisputed, something you wanted to do. What's next for you?
Well, I have fight August 5th against the other tough Heather Hardy. So if you're there, you might have to work a little hard once again because we're going to be throwing punches and bunches like I love to do, and so does Heather. So it's going to be a great night, and we're going to steal the show once again.
Women's boxing is on a heater. I wouldn't even say like it's like, oh, let's talk about it. It's like red hot. We're seeing great fights all over the world, not just in the States. Obviously, when you're a part of such a big event like you were with Katie Taylor, I feel like you're going to be linked to her for forever, which is a great thing because you gave an unbelievable night. I was there in attendance. I will say that it's the best fight atmosphere I've ever been a part of. She just suffered a loss, first loss of her career to a very tough opponent in Chantel Cameron. How'd you see that fight?
Well, I saw just I think the right woman won. I believe she won 6-4 or 7-3. But I think it was a great fight, and we continue to have great fights with women's boxing, which that's when you're up on that level, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have us women. We have to fight to show that we belong here, and that's why you have great champions fighting champions, and you have the best fighting the best, and that's what's going to continue to happen. And you know, I'm upset. I feel bad for Katie Taylor because I know she's been on this journey, but she's going to come back and she's going to do what she has to do and try to get that rematch and try to win. And I just hope that she's mentally as well as physically prepared.
Yeah, so Eddie, right after the fight, was calling for a rematch. I think a lot of fans out there, I have a pretty good gauge of what the fans want. They want to see a rematch with you and Katie Taylor. I said you're going to be linked forever. She did lose, but she didn't give up her 135 pound belts. I know you wanted to make your own history there at featherweight. Are we going to see this rematch? Are we going to give fans what they want?
I mean, I want. That's why I was watching. I was cheering for Katie in my selfish way because I wanted her to win. I wanted the rematch to happen. Of course, you know, Chantel won. But I would love to fight Katie Taylor, but Katie, she's a warrior, she's a fighter, and she's gonna want that win back from Chantel. So I don't know what's on her agenda, but I'm here. But I'm gonna move on with my career. I have my fight August 5th, and then hopefully I can get my own homecoming, fighting in Puerto Rico, the first undisputed champion coming out of Puerto Rico, and giving my island that so they can sit down and watch their undisputed champion defend her titles.
I would like to be there for that. Love Puerto Rico. How about your top 5 female fighters right now? You can't put yourself in there.
Oh, I was gonna be 1 to 5. No. Just kidding. Well, of course, Deja Green, Clarissa Shields, Alycia Baumgardner, Chantel Cameron, and Katie Taylor. You know, she helped pave this wave in women's boxing. You know, she's the moneymaker. She's the one who allowed me to make my first $1 million, and she's allowed all of these women to continue to make lots of money in this sport. So no matter what happened in her last fight, she helped pave this beautiful road to successful women
I love
in
that.
this sport.
I love that. I love the sportsmanship between the two of you guys.
Always. I love Katie.
Yeah, that's
Katie's
awesome.
my best friend.
It's so great that, yeah, right? You guys made each other so rich that night, and you made history.
But we're gonna be tied together
Yeah.
forever, you know. Since she started turning, she turned pro, it was always, oh, Katie. Okay, I was like, I'm glad I got this fight, so it can be over. We did it. I don't want to hear Katie's name, and we're still tied together.
The coolest moment I thought was right before the first bell. You looked at her and you were like, "Can you believe this?"
Yes, it reminded me of back of the old days, like when Muhammad Ali and Frazier, like where they fought. Like, look at what we did. We did two girls that don't talk bad about any of our opponents, and we sold that fight, we sold that arena out because our skills brought all those people in those seats, brought all those viewers watching the zone, watching the pay-per-view because of what we did.
Yeah, it was really refreshing all week long. You brought up Alycia Baumgardner. She is the champion at 130 pounds. You are the champion at 135 pounds.
No,
Think
26.
Excuse me. Take two. You brought up Alycia Baumgardner. She is the champion at 130 pounds. You are the champion at 126 pounds. The thing that I love about women's boxing is the jumping up in weight. You've done it your whole career.
Yeah.
She is that's an interesting fight to me. Would you like to fight Alycia Baumgardner one day?
Yeah, I mean, if it happens, you know, right now, I think for Alycia too, if the fight makes sense, if it's gonna make us, you know, money, if it's gonna make us, right now, I've been in the game for 14 years, 14 long years. Now is when I'm enjoying it because we're getting what we deserve, we're getting respected, and you know, if it makes sense, if it makes dollars, then it makes sense. And yeah, I mean, I've campaigned in so many different weight divisions. I want to stay put at my featherweight. I've worked so hard to be at this weight where I feel my best at. So I mean, it can happen, or you know, like I said, if it makes sense.
Yeah, you want to stay at 126, but you will explore like a 130 fight, 135 if it makes dollars.
Exactly.
It's prize fighting for a reason.
Exactly.
Lastly, Errol Spence turns Crawford. It's happening July
it is.
29th. They both
Perfect.
announced it just today on social media. How do you see that fight playing
That's
out?
truly amazing. I'm a big TC fan, Terrence Crawford fan. You know, I've shared multiple WBO Fighter of the Years with him, and he's a really good friend, you know, on social media as well. And I just love the way his style of fighting. I just love he's explosive, very smart. So I'm going with Crawford.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you.